So, a couple of years ago, I had to accept something about God that I didn't want to. And I had to accept the fact that no matter how many blessings that He had lined up for me, that He wasn't going to force me to receive any of them. It's a very complex thought when you think, like, why wouldn't you receive God's blessings? Like, what's up with that? And what I realized that, I had developed a mentality that I believe a lot of people have developed when it comes to God, because we lean so much into God that we feel like God is going to control us. But God doesn't get glory out of control. He gets glory out of our choices and our decisions, and us choosing, to receive or to step into whatever direction that He wants us to step into. And so what I had to do was realize that my choices and that my decisions held more weight than I actually wanted them to. My decisions and my will actually can overpower God's will. And even though that's something that I wish I couldn't do, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? And so I find myself, and I see them in our generation, a lot in this time, a lot of us, it's our safety net to say, God, your will, let your will be done, and that's cool and that's dope. But we say that, but we reject the fact that we still have to make a decision, that the choices are still up to us, that the free will is still up to us, on receiving whatever His will may be. God is not going to control us. So with this newfound aspect, I see that, the reason why I was so afraid to think that my choice and my will can overpower God's will is because I don't trust myself. It's because I know me. And when I got saved, it was like, I just want to do what God wants me to do. And God, I just want to do whatever you want. Take away all these other desires. Take wherever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was rejecting as far as blessings, as far as direction, is because I had a mentality, a subconscious mentality that was given to me by the world. That was a perspective that was given to me by the enemy. Subconsciously, anything good is evil. We've been taught that in the world. We were taught not to trust, because if you trust, it's going to be bad. If you love, it's going to be bad. If you become vulnerable, it's going to be bad. If somebody gives something to you, that means they want something in return. There's no true authenticity to anything, is what the world wants us to believe. So when it came down to blessings, even though it was good, even though it was God inspired, even though God was behind it, even though God presented it, I still was like, nah, that's going to mess up somehow. And the crazy thing about it was I hated living like that. I hated living like that. I hated having the perspective that everything was always going to be wrong. I hated having the perspective that the only way to actually feel like I'm alive and to live is to actually struggle with something. Living like God doesn't reward those who diligently seek Him. And so a lot of us do that. We fight from a place of defeat. We fight from a place that there is no good in this world, that God does not have good intended for us. And then you got those who just run out. You know what I'm saying? They run out because they believe that, yes, because I do have a choice, and that my choice can overpower God's will, I am God. I choose. All you got to do is choose to do right, or choose to do this, or choose to do that. They believe that God is not real because of the power that He's given them. But they don't understand that He's only given them the power to choose for the glory and benefit and edification of Himself. So you can't just negate God because you can choose. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work like that. You honor God with your decisions to show that you truly love Him. So I look at my life now, man, and I say, where I'm at right now, instead of me being so concerned about the fear and the perspective that things are wrong and that, I try to live my life upright. I've fallen more into the assurance that God has good for me, that God presents good to me, that God is protecting me, that God has ordained me for a time as this in the direction, and that He's actually moving my feet in the direction that He wants me to go. I have to look at these things through assurance now instead of fear. And I think a lot of us, man, once we understand that this life is still intended to be good, that existence is still intended to be good, that love and affection, that trust and joy, that gifts and purity of hearts of people are still alive and well, and that God is in them, and that I can trust the God in a person just as much as I trust the God in me. Once you realize that, man, life gets good. But it's sad because a lot of people don't really see that perspective. You don't see that God wants to elevate, and God wants to help, and God wants to give to us. So this is just me personally. This is why I am like I am. Because I used to reject the very good things that God presented for me. I have very, very good friends who look out for me. And I used to wonder a lot, why are y'all helping me? Why do y'all look out for me? Why do y'all sow into me? And I didn't realize, I always had a pause to them at one point because I didn't realize that it was a God in them that was intending good for me. So I had to learn to receive. I had to learn to receive, and I had to learn that it was my choice to receive. And that my choice outweighs God's choice. My will can outweigh God's will. So I had to choose God's will consistently every day, and His blessings every day. So I pray that this helps somebody, man. Y'all boys be blessed. I love y'all. Follow me on Snap. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be. It's Young Adults Christ Life. No swag lost, man. C.BLOOD. I'm out.